Going to call to order the Newmarket Budget Committee meeting. And to start us off, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do a quick roll call. Chris Blackstone.
Here.
Justin Lucer.
Here.
Jeff Boyd.
Here.
Carl Blackstone.
Here.
Brian Ward.
Here.
Scott Foster is absent. Danielle Honan.
Here.
And I, Brian Rowley, am here. Going to open the public session at 6:35. Seeing no members of the public, close the public session. And today we're having Steve and Bill present the town budget to us.
Good evening. You should have all received the town budget. We have a new format this year. We are contracting with a company called ClearGov to provide more information and assist us in providing a better document. You should have also received a link in the email, which is actually even probably better than the book itself for providing the information. So I'm here tonight to present the Town Council approved fiscal year 2027 budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2027. So understand how far in advance that we have to write these budgets. First thing I always like to go over is the state of the Newmarket economy. And one of the big things that we look at is unemployment. Currently, nationwide, the unemployment rate is 4.2%, which is a drop from last year's 4.5%. The state has started a slight increase from 2.9 to 3.1. The county saw 2.9 to 3. The Portsmouth metro area, which we're a part of, has a 2.5% unemployment to 2.9. And Newmarket itself went from 2.3 to 2.7. Well, it's interesting because we've had such low numbers. This is still negligible. It's not a large number, and this could be, just the numbers could be a seasonal swing. It's just that small of an unemployment situation. There's still a market of needing employees, not having massive layoffs. The next area is a consumer price index, which is the increase of goods over year. Those outliers, if you couldn't guess, was right after the pandemic, where we had an 8.5% consumer price index during that 1 year blip. This year, nationwide, we had a 2.7% increase on consumer price index. Northeast regional, we saw 3.2, as well as Boston. We saw a 3.2% increase. The other thing that we look at is what Social Security grants its receivers for COLA increases, and that was 2.8% this year. And in recent years, we've seen everything from close to 5 to 3, so it's interesting to see a lower number happening. So for the fiscal year 26 tax rate we just set, the school district gets 72% of the tax rate. So you get 66% goes to local school at $12.85. In the state school, which is 6%, is $1.11. It's not like we send it to Concord and get it back. We have to just collect that amount, and it goes directly to the school. The next portion that's the highest is the town, which is 25% of the tax rate at $4.87. And finally, the smallest portion at 59 cents per thousand is at 3% is the county. So tonight, what we're talking about is that 25% blue piece. And this is just a 5-year tax rate comparison. As you can see, right in there, that's the town. It's been pretty level over the last 5 years. The big difference, last year, the 2 years ago was 29.49 to 18.28. That was due to the revaluation. So that's also the reason why most of the other rates dropped as well. And here's the other thing we need to look at is that's our assessed valuation. What's the value of the town? In 2021, we were worth $987,870,471. This last year, our assessed valuation was $725,850,422. So almost $1 billion added in value of the town from 21 to 25. Why is that important? Well, when we talk about the tax rate, For every dollar that we raise on the tax rate, we're able to raise $1,725,850 through our budget. So that's just a way to look at it. If you want $1, it's going to be about $1.7 million on the, of money that we can raise. So Town Council met in October, and they approved a couple weeks ago a fiscal year 27 budget of $19,787,208. The general fund is at $12,556,312. Special revenues is $2,174,672. And enterprise funds, which is water and sewer, is $5,056,224. Special revenue funds are the recreation revolving fund, which is self-funding, the solid waste fund, which is partially self-funded, and we put the library in there because it's a grant that goes right to them, that they have oversight of their line items in that situation. So what we're seeing is an increase in the overall total expenditures of 6.16%. The difference between my proposed and the town council was $5,000, which was an increase in rental assistance and welfare. So that was the only difference between the two. And this is just to show you where the money goes. You know, most of it does go to general fund. The next would be enterprise funds. Again, that's self-sufficient. That's all water and sewer ratepayers, so there's no taxation no taxes go into that fund. And finally, the special revenue fund at $2.1 million. And just another way to look at it is, okay, so where does it go by type? So out of the entire budget, $10,311,319, 52% of the budget goes to salary and benefits. Operating expenses at 31% is is a little over $6 million. Our debt service, so we're paying our bonds, is at 9% at $1.8 million. And finally, our capital outlay, what we contribute to capital reserve funds, is about $1.6 million. So as you can see, which is no surprise that salaries and benefits is the largest portion of our operating budget. So where is it going? We're seeing a $207,842 increase in healthcare. We're seeing the police contract implementation. If you remember, we had a special reopener last year to try to get them up to the market, which is going to be costing $439,904 in the budget this year. We're seeing an increase in the New Hampshire retirement contributions at $101,403. And finally, our fire department per diem is having an increase of $100,000. That's the new system that we have, that we basically, when we, to have 24-hour coverage, we ask firefighters who are in other communities on their days off to come work for us. Because firefighters and full-time firefighters in large cities work 24 on, 24 off, 24 on, week off. And so we have to say, hey, during your time off, come work for us. And we save by not having the full-time benefits, and they get extra money by doing so. We do have a list of potential warrant articles. The first authorizes up to $100,000 in a state revolving loan fund bonding to create a long-term wastewater master plan. Expected 100% principal forgiveness, so no tax or sewer rate impact, and it does require a 2/3 vote. We're looking at improving Cushing Road and Lumberland Drive stormwater improvements, and it approves up to $1.4 million in bonds for stormwater upgrades to reduce runoff and improve water quality in the area. It includes $216,000 in state revolving fund forgiveness. It will require a 2/3 vote and will affect the tax rate. If I don't have that number in there, I don't know why I don't. Sorry about that. The next is the Rosa property conservation easement. The town would require a 16.3 acre easement on the Rosa property for open space and habitat protection. Total cost is $402,000. $145,000 will be raised through taxation, with the remainder coming from grants and donations. The estimated tax impact is 8 cents per thousand. The next would be Shanda Park stormwater planning. It allocates $100,000 for stormwater and coastal resilience planning at Shanda Park, and are funded via bonds and notes possible SRF forgiveness. There's no impact on tax rate and requires 2/3 vote. Finally, there's actually two, not one other article. One came up after we wrote this. So the one that we do have here is we are negotiating a contract with the police union. We're still in talks right now with meetings tomorrow. but we'll get that to you as soon as we're done. And finally, there is a proposal to disband the solid waste revolving fund that we currently have. So our solid waste fund that's basically the money you get for pay as you throw for the bags. In some communities, those bags, the money you pay, covers all the collection for solid waste collection. We don't. It just doesn't come close. We would have to charge, I think, probably in the area of $7 per bag, or even higher, and we just couldn't do it. So what we're doing is we're going to, at advice of our auditors, we're going to remove the special revenue fund and just have that as a revenue in the general fund. It's bookkeeping, doesn't impact anything. It's just a advice of the auditors.
The bag cost stays the same.
You're not changing the bag cost. So when we look at that, we also want to look at the expense budget. We also want to look at the revenue budget. We're proposing a revenue budget, which is not taxation, of $11,013,017. Of that, we're seeing $4,932,298 revenues for general fund. Most of that is motor vehicle registrations, building permits, and other funds that we receive. Enterprise funds, which is water and sewer, is $5,027,900, and the special revenue fund is $1,052,819. The reason that's important, so this next slide is an estimate only using data we have as of today, is what would the estimated tax rate impact be? So how we determine the tax rate is you take the total proposed expenditures of $19,787,208, subtract those revenues, which is $11,013,017, add overlay, which is our abatements, which is $50,000, and add our war service credits, which is the veterans exemptions, and that's $145,000. So the net appropriation is $8,969,191, which we have to raise for taxation. You take that number, you divide it by $1,725,850,422, then multiply it by 1,000, and you come to $5.20, which is a 33-cent increase over last year. And that is the presentation of the budget. And my understanding is we'll be coming in a couple weeks for questions and.
Yep. So I'm remiss on not having said it right up front here, but yeah, today is just kind of the kickoff, and then we all have the budget, and we'll be kind of looking through it, and then we'll be meeting again on December 8th for an in-depth Q&A session. But ahead of that, we'll be collecting. I'll send an email out to everybody. We'll be collecting any questions you might have so that we can get it to Steve and his team ahead of time with enough time to answer any questions. So. Steve, Bill, thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Brian, is wrong,
That's the school. So, yeah, we'll kind of go through the next dates, and those should all be on the Google Calendar that we have here. But I'll just send it from town also. So yeah, but we'll do that. The draft dates section. Next piece of business is electing a vice chair. I'm excited to say we got the vast majority of the committee here today, and wanted to open that discussion again, see if there's interest. Carl, I believe you expressed interest. I'm not sure if that's still the case.
Yep.
But unless there's anybody else who would like to be vice chair, is there a motion to?
I nominate Carl.
Thank you.
Second that motion.
All right. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Am I
Unanimous?
allowed the second motions here? Is the
Yes.
school board representative? Okay.
I totally believe you are able to. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't quite understand that dynamic, or,
No, I think
All right.
I think you're all good. So, all right, unanimously approved. Carl Blackstone, congratulations, vice chair. The next order of business is reaching a little bit back, the June 23rd minutes. If you were present at this meeting, please, participate in this vote coming up. I'm not sure if anybody had any questions or concerns or any changes. We can take a minute to read through.
It's a fine point, but even if you weren't at the meeting, you're allowed to vote to approve the minutes. Because it seems goofy. Many people say, I abstain, I wasn't here, I don't know. But the discussion is, do you see any errors here?
Mm.
And then somebody's like, well, there should be a colon, or there should be this, or my name is spelled wrong, or he seconded it, not her, or whatever. So then you're voting on, okay, everybody agree those are edits? Yes, those are. And then you're voting on what just got edited.
What was edited?
Yeah, that's a traditional thing people do, is say, I wasn't here, I'm not voting, but it's not how it has to be.
Yeah, I think Brian
Oh, yeah,
is-
I'm just gonna add, like, we also, since we record these meetings, it is possible for people to watch them and still, so
Right.
you can be like, oh, that didn't come up during the meeting, during the recording, so, yeah, so that is allowed.
Sure.
All right, thank you for clarifying that, and feel free to, everybody please participate in the vote.
Or not.
Or not, or not. But it's welcome.
Yes.
I would make the motion to approve
Okay.
the minutes.
I second
January
that.
23rd.
All right, so motion made by Jeff Boyd to approve the minutes, seconded by Carl Blackstone. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, unanimous approval. Then the September 22nd meeting minutes.
Couple spelling. Line 11, members excused. Should be an E there instead of an R. Line
Numbers.
39,
Mr.
16.8 million
Yeah.
of, or no, or 82%. The O should be the word or.
Yep, 16.8 million, okay, thank you.
That's that.
Okay.
And is this the one that I could technically be excused from instead of?
You can abstain, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Pardon me, I'm misunderstanding what you said, but I think she might be asking, as opposed to being listed as absent,
Yeah.
could she be
Oh.
listed as excused because she had
Yes.
reached out via email?
And so the last meeting was the October one, where we didn't
So that was,
technically
okay,
convene a meeting, so there are minutes for that.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, so we didn't meet?
In
We didn't have a,
October.
we had a we did not have a quorum last month.
Right.
Okay.
So it was
Presentation.
3 of us in a room, not having a meeting, listening to the school.
Gotcha, okay, so that's the one that I'm thinking of. Never mind.
Any, any, anybody to, any nomination or movement to approve the minutes? with
I
the
would
changes?
move to approve those minutes of September 22nd.
Moved by Chris Blackstone, anybody second?
I will second said motion.
Second by Jeff Boyd, all in favor, say aye.
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 Unanimous approval. Thank you. And so then, I just wanted to take a minute to walk through kind of the next few meetings. Hopefully, the Google Calendar worked out okay. I've never shared a calendar like that before, so I wasn't quite sure how it worked, but it sounds like everybody was able to get it okay. Let me know if you're having any technical issues, but these are, of course, also on the town calendar. But the next few meetings, December 1st, and I'll send these out via email also, so you just have them in one concise spot. We'll be getting a similar presentation from the school, so we'll get the school budget there. And then on December 8th, so 1 week later, we'll be doing a question and answer session. And so that's where we'll be able to get any questions we might have answered. Similar today, will be kind of a light touch during the presentation on the 1st, and then a deeper dive on the 8th. We do have a backup date in case of snow or anything like that on the 15th. That'll just go away if we have the meeting on the 1st. And then January 5th is, another very big important meeting. That's where we're going to have the public hearing and also be voting on the budget and the warrant articles.
January, I'm sorry, what?
5th.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
And then we have 2 backup dates for that, the 12th and the 20th. So I'll, of course, keep you up to date in case anything changes. And like I said, I'll send a note here just so you can all have it right in one.
The meeting on the 8th, that Q&A, is that for the town budget, the school budget, or both?
Both.
Both?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so the school unfortunately has a little less time, just because I think their budget's prepared a little bit later on, and Yeah. When I was meeting with Todd and Steve, we felt like we wanted to kind of get the questions in sooner rather than later. But yeah, so we'll have a couple days to kind of go through the school. If we could get the questions to Todd and Steve, you know, a few days before that meeting would be great, because they're going to need time to touch base with department heads and different folks if it requires a big deep dive into the question. All right, awesome. Well, I think that's everything. Unless anybody has anything to add, I have a motion to adjourn.
I will, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right, motion to adjourn by
Aye.
Justin Lucy,
And I will second.
seconded by Brian Ward. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Unanimously approved. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Website.
Yeah.
Got ahead of business.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have any trouble with it, let me know. I'm not a technical person, so. I can always bring something to you know.
See each other.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
You too.